5:33 p.m. Superintendent, roll call, please.
Mr. Del Real Calleros,
President.
Dr. Hardy,
Present.
Mr. Morales, Dr. Castro, Mrs. Lopez.
Is there a motion to approve this, approval of agenda of the regular meeting at the Board of Education on February 13,
Second.
25? As moved by Ms. Lopez, second by Mr. Hardy. Do we have any abstentions? Seeing none, item passes. Public comment, are there any public comments pertaining to closed session items?
President Del Real Calleros, we have no public comments for closed session.
And that being said, we move on from public session to, we will now recess into closed session at 5:34 p.m. Calling back to order the Lynwood Unified School District regular board meeting on February 13, 2025 at 6:12 p.m. Superintendent, roll call, please.
Mrs. Real Calleros,
Well, present.
Dr. Hardy,
Present.
Mr. Morales, Dr. Castro, Mrs. Lopez.
Sorry, it's been a long day. Tonight's flag salute will be led by Lugo Elementary. Let's go.
All right. Good evening, Board President Del Real Calleros, board members, our superintendent, Dr. Crossway, district cabinet members, and Lynwood community. I want to give a special thank you to everyone, all our families that brought out the kids in the rain and the weather, so thank you very, very much. My name is Paul Ceron. I am the proud principal of the tiny and mighty Lugo Elementary School, home of the Lugo Lions. And we are honored tonight to be part of our board meeting. And with me are two of our outstanding Lugo Lion leaders who will be leading the flag salute and introducing themselves. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Roman Cervantes, and I am the Lugo ASB president. When I finish high school, my dream is to attend the University of Southern California, better known as USC. Once I finish college, my goal is to become a scientist.
Hello and good afternoon, everybody. My name is Maria Mercado, and I'm a student in 6th grade at Lugo Elementary School. It is a true privilege to be here with you all today, and there are a lot of things that I love and that I love to do, but I only have one passion, and that is caring for animals. I love spending time with them, learning about their behaviors. My interest in becoming a veterinarian most likely comes from the connections that I have with animals. Based on my career interest, I would like to attend UC Davis. I'm looking forward to learning more, and thank you for having me. Have a good night.
She's gonna reach it.
Please stand. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You guys may be seated now.
Thank you, Lugo Elementary. All right. At this time, we would like to hear from our student board representatives. First, Fireball High School.
Good evening, Board President, Board members, Superintendent Dr. Crossway, District Cabinet members, and the Lynwood community. My name is Ashley Peña, ASB Student Board Representative from Marco Antonio Fireball High School, and this is our February 13, 2025 Board Report. This semester has begun with lots of enthusiasm from our Falcon students and staff. Here are a few events that have taken place at Marco Antonio Fireball High School. Fireball's Wellness Center organized a donation drive to support the victims of the LA fires, originally intended for staff, but expanded to include students, and with their combined support, a wide range of items from personal hygiene to canned goods were collected and sent directly to those in need. Students organized a powerful school-wide walkout in protest against the unjust mass deportation laws affecting many families and communities, serving as a strong demonstration of solidarity and a call for change. We were fortunate enough to have an administration that supported the cause, ensuring the walkout remained peaceful and impactful, allowing us to express our beliefs freely and safely. While every Thursday, the Raza Club set up a table outside during lunch where students would freely approach and pick up red cards and learn about their rights with no pressure or obligation. On February 5th, ASB hosted a mini pep rally for Rivalry Day, where our basketball team won 70 to 68 against Lynwood High School. In addition to this, ASB organized Falcon Fridays every week with fun activities and snacks during lunch. And despite the walkout, successfully hosted a movie night that brought students together for a relaxed evening. The YBASU Club hosted a spirited week to celebrate Black History Month, featuring festive themed days and fun lunch activities for students to enjoy. In addition, they are making daily Black History fun fact announcements throughout February to educate and engage the school community. That concludes the Firebaugh High School Board Report.
Up next, Lynwood High School.
Good evening, Board President Del Real Galleros, Superintendent Dr. Crosswaite, Board members, District Cabinet members, and the Lynwood community. This is Lynwood High School Student Board Report for Thursday, February 13th. In the last week of January, our Lynwood High staff participated in an Undercover Spirit Week where they wore onesies, dressed in all black, brought anything but a cup, dressed as their favorite holiday, and dressed as royalty. It was great to see our staff show their school spirit. As a school, we now have 167 Cal State submissions, 78 UC submissions, 16 private school submissions, and 124 community college submissions. Currently, our CAP team is working on the FAFSA application with our students. So far, we have 105 submissions for FAFSA and CATA. Our ASB held recognition assemblies last Tuesday to celebrate all the hard work our students did during the first semester. During the senior assembly, ASB students revealed the prom theme for this year, which is a Diamonds Ball, which will take place on May 17th at the Reef in Long Beach. This week, ASB also held a Valentine's Spirit Week, where they had a compliment candy station, a Valentine's Day photo booth opportunity, and cookie decorating. At this time, we would like to congratulate our girls' soccer and basketball teams for making it to CIF. Both teams were undefeated league champions. This was a first for girls' soccer in school history. We wish them all the best moving forward. Distinguished attendees, this concludes Lynwood High School's board report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Up next, we have Lynwood Community Adult School.
Good evening, Board President Mr. Del Real Calleros, Board members, Superintendent Dr. Crossway, members of the Cabinet and the Lynwood community. I am Yolanda Hernandez, a Student Board Representative for Lynwood Community Adult School. On January 17, 2025, LCAS host its first CTE Fair. Current students and community members learn about the various high-demand, short-term career training available at LCAS. Instructors and current students provide an interactive demonstration of industry skills and provide information about each program. On Monday, February 10, representatives from Long Beach City College present to LCAS students about the opportunities and programs available. The LBM students participate in their 2 days exit reviews in preparation for exit exams being held on March 3rd. The LBM graduation will be held on March 24th. LCAS will be hosting a Black History Month Taste of Soul on Monday, February 24th. This concludes Lynwood Community Adult School Report.
Thank you. Next, we have Vista High School.
Good evening, Board. President, Mr. Julian Del Real Calleros, the Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Crossway, members of the Cabinet, and the Lynwood community. My name is Omar Gomez, and I am the Student Board Representative and a member of ASB for Vista High School. This is Vista's Board Report for February 13, 2025. We would like to welcome to our Vista family our new school psychologist, Ms. Gudiela Navarro. Representatives from Compton and Cerritos College are on our campus on Thursdays, and Long Beach City College is here once in a month on Fridays to give support to our seniors with the FAFSA college application process. Representatives from the movement continue to assist all seniors with the FAFSA application process. On January 21st, Vista High had a parent and student workshops on human trafficking. January Student of the Month was held on January 30. Students participated in the Student of the Month recognition lunch. Congratulations to all participants. Our yearly Black History Month celebration has begun. On February 1st, Vista students had the opportunity to attend the Black College Expo and the Battle of the Bands at Sophie. Our students had the opportunity to attend workshops and apply for scholarships. We will be having a Spirit Week and an assembly at the end of this month. Vista's ELAC meeting was held on February 4th, and our school site council meeting was held on January 15th and on February 6th. The safety plan was presented and approved. Important topics were also discussed by all stakeholders. Coffee with the principal was held on February 7th, and immigration information parent workshops was presented to our Vista parents who participated. On February 6th, Vista High School students took the hearing test, and this concludes the Vista's school report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, students, for your reports. We now move on to the superintendent's report. Mr. Superintendent.
Mr. Del Real Calleros, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I want to begin by congratulating all of our winter student athletes on a successful season. I know for some of them who are seniors, it's the end of the season for them in terms of whatever sport they're playing. And then best of luck to all of our teams and student athletes who are still playing off in furthering their competition in CIF as well. Also want to congratulate Dr. Dinkins. She got AXA Region 14 Curriculum and Instruction Administrator of the Year. Congratulations, Dr. Dinkins. Very well deserved and long overdue. So she's now going to be competing at the state level for California for that same category. And also just want to congratulate all of our spelling bee contestants. Yesterday was amazing. It was about 15 or 16 rounds. There were words that I couldn't even enunciate, much less spell. From Abbott Elementary, taking third place, Juliana Almanza. From Hostler, taking second place, Perla Ramon. And our champion this year, who's going to compete at the LA County competition, is Diego Martinez from Will Rogers Elementary. So again, congratulations to them, the power of words, amazing academics, and thank you to their parents, families, their friends, and their coaches and teachers who helped prepare them to get to this point. Let's go to the next slide, please. It's also CTE month. Last year we did some videos on the CTE programs at our high schools, and this year we have a video for you from the middle schools. And CTE month is Career Technical Education. It's a great opportunity for our middle school students to explore hands-on experiences and different career pathways, particularly for us in Lynwood Unified in the areas of STEM, in medical, engineering, and other sciences. Again, hands-on experiences, and it's a great way for them to start thinking about their future and the additional programs that we offer at our high schools, but also through our partnerships with community colleges where they can get even an AA degree before they even graduate from high school. So we have a brief video that Juliet Funes put together for us, so we're gonna play right now.
At Hostler and Cesar Chavez Middle Schools, we offer programs that are available to students in different career fields. So we offer programs in Project Lead the Way and Paxton Patterson, which are two renowned programs for career technical education. These programs offer students an opportunity to explore careers in engineering, in healthcare, in flight and space.
So students have an array of different paths or different choices they can pick and just explore a little bit if it's going to be of their interest, or totally go a different direction. But it gives them that little taste of a different career, different paths. Becoming a radiologist, for instance, or a pilot, an astronaut, an architect.
So career technical education is basically giving our students the skill sets they need in order to be successful once they leave middle school as well as high school. I feel like at the middle school level is the age of exploration. You want to explore and try to figure out what you want to try to do. As a student, we allow our students to do that. So whether it's robotics, human anatomy, computer science, our students will get those opportunities that they'll need in order to determine what direction they want to go at the high school level and even beyond.
Our world is increasingly complex with distinct careers, so the earlier they can have exposure to what they possibly would like to major in or what they would like to dive into as far as a possible career, I think that's better. Our students are extremely fortunate to be part of Lynwood Unified School District, where we offer an extensive array of Project Lead the Way courses and CTE courses that will ensure their success in the future.
I feel really lucky to come to a school that offers all these things to me and my peers. It's going to help us out in the future, and I think it's really cool that the school offers it. I feel really lucky to be here.
When we see our kids start to come back and we see the product that we've created from some of these different programs and the ability for them to compete with anybody else in any other district, in any other state, it is a really good feeling. It shows that we're on the right path. But we also have to understand that when it comes to real life, the kids want to see that. They want to know how to be a nurse. They want to know how to build programs. They want to know how to invest their money and be financially responsible.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what I come up to in my future. I feel like all these things I'm going to learn now are going to be little stepping stones for when I'm older. Some of these things I'm really going to need to know as I grow.
When I see our students, I just see the future generation of individuals in the workforce who will be prepared to, take our nation to the next level.
So I just want to thank the board because you've been investing and supporting these programs, the professional development, and hopefully you saw the new furniture in the classrooms as well. And so thank you again for the ongoing investment in our youth. And again, here in Lynwood Unified, we're looking to continue inspiring our students to dream big and continue on. And so with that, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Jensen. We have a brief budget report. Yeah, or you do from there too. We want to just give you an update in terms of the budget report. We got a chance to get a budget overview a few weeks ago, and so we want to make sure that we share that recent update with you as well.
Thank you, Dr. Crosswaith. Yeah, it's just important for us to keep a good look at what's going on with our budget. We did recently get an update from the governor about his proposal for 25-26, and just wanted to share some updates with the board and the community. So we'll go to the next slide, please. So we continue to see challenges, and this isn't just in Lynwood, this is statewide. Budget challenges continue. Our revenues are dropping, and at the same time, our expenditures are increasing. If you're thinking about your own home budget, your salary or your income is going down, at the same time your expenditures are going up. So our revenues are dropping, and this again is not just a Lynwood challenge, this is a California challenge. We did receive some one-time COVID relief funds that have now expired. Also statewide, we're experiencing declining enrollment, and that's exponentially greater in LA County. And then we're also facing some new ADA challenges. And those ADA challenges are coming to us because of decisions, choices, mandates coming from the federal level. We were at about 91% in ADA this year, making our first jump back up following COVID. But because of threats and challenges that our families are facing now, because of our new federal administration, we are experiencing drops and declines. We're closer to around 87 over this last month. So we've seen a precipitous drop in ADA, and we know here that we're funded not on the number of students that are enrolled, but the number of students who attend regularly. So the uncertainties that our families are facing have impacted us in ADA. And our expenditures continue to increase. We're seeing a steep incline in costs related to special education, contributions to employees' STIRS and PERS programs. Those are our retirement programs for our teachers and our classified staff. AB 218 liability, this is additional insurance the district has had to purchase related to legislation that now allows an extension for abuse claims against school districts, and we purchased that additional liability insurance to ensure that we are protected against large claims that could come forward in the future. Just like home budgets are addressing challenges with inflation, we are as well. And this will be exponentially larger if there are new tariffs placed on items. And also throughout LA County, we're going to see costs go up for construction, specifically around labor and materials, as we fight for labor and materials that are now going to be used to rebuild from the fires that we recently experienced. So climate challenges and federal government challenges are impacting us at the local level. And then step column and longevity relates to the additional costs that we incur each year related to employee salaries. Our employees are on a mandated step or column and longevity system that automatically provides increases to those employees annually to recognize their commitment to our district. Excuse me. Next slide, please. This is a slide that demonstrates our historical enrollment along with our projections. The blue columns represent our historical enrollment, and then the lighter red or pink columns represent what we're projecting moving forward. And this is a trend, as I shared, happening statewide, but especially happening here in California. If you see back in, circled at the top in 2010-11, we were serving over 15,000 students. If you move forward to the projections through 2032-33, we are projecting to be serving just over 8,000 students by that year. And as I've shared in prior presentations, but it's important to underscore, the biggest driver there is the birth rate. And we staff our kindergarten classrooms based on 5 years prior, the births that happened here in Lynwood. So in the year 2008, at the top of that chart on the right-hand side, the city of Lynwood had 1,500 births, 1,573 births. So 5 years later, the person that was here in my seat was projecting, okay, we'll need enough kindergarten teachers to support 1,500 kindergartners in 2013. Fast forward to the most recent data that we have from the LA County Department of Public Health from 2022, the city of Lynwood experienced only 781 births. So as Mr. Zaragoza and I work to staff our kindergarten rooms, and for 2027, 5 years after that, we'll be staffing our kindergarten rooms for 781 students, about half as many kindergartners coming to us. So this is the most significant driver. Families are just choosing to have fewer kids. Next slide, please. And when we look to make adjustments to our expenditures predominantly go to support the most important resource that we have here in Lynwood, which is our people. Our certificated salaries, our classified salaries, and our employee benefits consume about 80% of our unrestricted general fund. So when we need to make adjustments to those expenditures, we do have to take a look at the people, again, our most important resource. And you can see the other items are services, and primarily for us, the services and unrestricted general fund items are things like our legal bills, our utilities, our water, our trash, the kinds of things we need to do just to keep the lights on here. Next slide, please. So while we are going to have to make some adjustments and look for some reductions to our expenditures, we maintain a commitment to high quality programs for our students. The programs that Dr. Crossway just highlighted in our CTE program, we're committed to continuing to offer those programs to the beautiful students here in Lynwood, like these students you see here. So our staffing adjustments that we will look to make, with those adjustments, we still are committed to maintaining class size reduction and the current class sizes that we have. Our staffing levels are going to have to be tailored to address the number of students that we're supporting, but we want to reassure the board and the community that our class sizes, our instructional programs, and our essential services remain top priorities for us as we face these challenging times.
Thank you, Dr. Jensen. And that concludes our report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. All right, moving on to board members' report. Mrs. Lopez.
Thank you, Ms. Del Real Callero. Good evening to everybody. I want to recognize in the audience we have the Honorable Ryan Emerson, Government Affairs from SEIU Local 99. Welcome. I've been attending most of the programs that the district has been having, like, for example, Lynwood Alumni Award Gala. It was amazing. They recognize alumnus that actually are doing a great job in the community. It was good, and all the money that was collected is for scholarships. That's the main intention. On Monday, we had a committee for rebuilding the new Lynwood High School with the architects and the companies that are rebuilding, Alfonso, myself, Dr. Crossway, and Dr. Johnson, and the architects. We are doing an amazing job on the soil mixing. Right now is going to be, very soon, we are going to start doing the columns, and then from there you are going to start seeing a great job. Also, we celebrate the Chinese New Year. It was an amazing celebration. It's one of the things that I love from Fargo, because they have that particular culture that is not only American, Hispanic, but they also have the Mandarin. And they have the garden that is amazing. If you have any chance, just go and visit the classroom. They are very cultural and really good, the structure. The kids actually, they participate in everything. Also the spelling bee. Last night I was here and it was a really good experience because the kids were presented with the big challenges with the big words. And congratulations to all, not only the winners, but everybody that participated. And Friday, it was a march from the 3 high schools, and accidentally I was passing by. I wanted to support them, but one of the issues that for me was very important, the students were very respectful, no bad words. They were in support of the rights of the immigration. And that's something that we as a board, we declare that we stand for the rights of the immigrants. And no matter what we need to do, we are going to support, and this is a safe haven for our families. So with that, I just thank you all for being here tonight, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Lopez. Mr. Morales.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just want to concur and talk about what Ms. Lopez was talking about. Thank you, Ms. Lopez, for representing us there with the students, and it's nice for them to have had you and know that we're with them and that, you know, we support them. You know, all districts aren't the same, everyone. I realized that recently I went to go speak at another district at a classroom and to the staff, and that district has decided not to declare themselves a safe haven, even though they are predominantly Latino. And they said that they didn't want to make themselves a target. I think that, you know, we need to take a stand because the other side's taking a stand. We need to take a stand. And we need to let people know where we stand. And our students need to know where we stand. Our community members need to know where we stand. At another district, I was asked to speak, and then they canceled it. And the principal found out that an immigration attorney was going to go and decided that they were not the right politics for their community. And therefore, the parents that had invited me unfortunately called me and said, you know what, we're sorry. You know, they told us they're shutting us down and we can't do it. And then it became something else. Then people are now concerned about, we have to be careful about creating, and then I talked to Hardy after, and he said the same thing. We have to be careful about announcing that we're going to do something where we're going to talk about immigration issues, and then we're going to have all these people that don't have papers, and then immigration is going to come one day and then seize, right? And I'm like, oh my God, that's true. It's like, what are we doing? Like, we got to go back to like Underground Railroad days and like, start telling people information without letting it out there because we feel like we're doing something bad or it's wrong. And it's unreal that we're in this situation, but I hope that our community knows that we all stand with them. We're all affected by this. And this is what I was trying to tell people, is that we are all affected in one way or another. For the people that are of brown color that are, U.S. citizens, we're gonna get pulled over. We're gonna get harassed. For the people that are not, you're the allies on this issue. You're the ones who have to stand up for us and for them and say, hey, that's not right. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos on social media where someone says, don't tell them anything. Don't be quiet. Don't say anything. That's the only thing we can do. It's still America. We still got freedom of speech. Help where you can. If you don't have papers, be careful because they're passing laws to criminalize behavior. And if you don't have papers, they're now saying you're going to be detained until you get deported or you get a green card. So then if you have DACA, then you have to be careful. Don't be confrontational. If you have residency status, be careful too, but I think you have a little bit more leeway. And if you're a citizen, then you have the right to speak, right? And then I say, and I advise people, don't give them anything because you have a right to not be questioned. That is the harassment part. That's where I can walk to the street or to the store and they shouldn't ask me, where are your papers? They shouldn't ask you where are your papers. Tell them no. And if we're citizens, let them take us to jail, and then we sue them for violating our civil rights. And that's how we're gonna make this stop. Because if everyone starts saying, oh, here comes my paper, here's my stuff, well, then we're gonna be okay, but then the guy next to us who doesn't, then they're not gonna be okay. And the issue there is, it is racial profiling. I saw the interview with the CBP officer or immigration officer in Bakersfield, and they're asking, why are you doing this and how can you do this? He says, well, I have probable cause. And he says, what do you mean? He goes, well, if I believe that someone is here undocumented and I have probable cause, then I can stop them. And he goes, and the law allows me to do that. And then all he did was he kept repeating, I have probable cause. And he didn't articulate what the probable cause was. So that's where we have to identify, okay, you can't just say, I have probable cause, and hide behind that. You have to articulate what the probable cause is. That means what is the reason. So if they ever approach you guys and you're in your house, keep the door closed, don't open. They have to have a warrant, okay? And even if they have a warrant, I was talking to the superintendent about this, is if the warrant just gives you an address to the school, that's not enough in my opinion. It's too broad. The warrant must specify what they're gonna search and what they're looking for. So fight them on that issue anyways. And at the end of the day, someone's going to jail probably. I told the superintendent, get ready. Because it's probably gonna be him. Because it's gonna happen, guys, and we have to be ready to go to jail. Put it in your mind, hey, I'm gonna be in a cold environment where I'm gonna wish I have warm socks because it's gonna be cold in jail. And I never thought I'd be thinking like this, right? Probably none of us, but it's the right thing to do because we have to wake up the next day in the morning with ourselves and say, we did the right thing. And you know what? They always say that thing is true. History will judge what side you were on, okay? So I'm very proud of our school district. I'm proud of our administration. I'm proud of our students, proud of our community, proud of our people here. We're not gonna let people scare us. If they wanna come down here and question what we're doing here, let them come down here. It's America, all right? So we support everyone's right to be where they wanna be. Anyways, that's it. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mr. Morales. Up next, we have Dr. Hardy.
Thank you, Mr. President. That was your longest report in like 2 years. But very, very appropriate. Like my colleague said, I was extremely proud of our students for taking a stand for what they believe in. As I shared on social media, many of them weren't marching for themselves, but for their parents, their cousins, their siblings who may have mixed status for immigration. So to the people that thought we were wrong for supporting our kids, like, what else should we do? Like, my first action as an activist led a march to this very boardroom when I was a junior in high school. So I'd be a hypocrite to say that we shouldn't support our kids walking out for such a noble cause. And as was said, it's also Black History Month, and I think about the fact that in the Underground Railroad, there were secret communication channels. And, there was these quotes that people would make, and they would hang them out on the banisters that gave messages that historians still have not verified to be true. And that means that they worked. So it's important to find ways to educate our community in a way that doesn't put people in harm's way. So I'm agreeing, like maybe we have these meetings on Zoom now versus in person. So we just keep folks safe. But it's tied to who we are as Black and brown people, that we've never stood by and been okay with injustice against anybody. We've always been in lockstep and as communities, be it Cesar Chavez, Malcolm X, Dr. King, always around the same campaigns around justice in our communities, and we shouldn't walk away from that history and heritage now. And I had a chance to take some students to Cuba last month as well to understand their perspective and what they were thinking about, what's happening now in the U.S., but also on the island. And the irony is Cuba has some very steep poverty levels, but they were concerned about us back here in LA with these fires and what Trump is going to do as far as immigration goes. So, I know we're all in this heightened state of awareness. Many of us are trying to figure out what to do, but, it goes back to what I said back in 2020 is be a good neighbor, like Alfonso said. Protect your street block by block, house by house. Make sure your people and families are okay. And ensuring that if it does come down to any moment, like we said, have some bail money ready, unfortunately, but it's going to take all of us taking a stand. And the last thing I'll say is, like, in this month where we're studying Black history, someone tried to use Dr. King as a reason why student protests were wrong. And I reminded folks that it was the young people that led the movement. Dr. King was 26 years old when he first started the civil rights movement. And John Lewis was a fresh college graduate. Ella Baker started SNCC at the university. I attended Shaw University as a young student. The young people have the energy. Us on these dioceses have the wisdom of how to get it done. So we should really be encouraging our students to take a stand, because what we're doing, we're building people that are well-rounded, that have hearts for justice, that heart for the community, and at the end of the day, do the right thing. And as we're seeing this rampant lawlessness in this new administration, it's important to draw a line in the sand, when we take a stand on what's right and wrong. So again, really appreciate our students for the way that they spoke up in a peaceful, organized way, but more so our staff for supporting them. I wish I could have been there, but I've been sick and had a death in the family, so I've been kind of all over the place, but my heart was there with our students and wanted to support, make sure that they knew that we're supporting them. Again, like lastly, I would say I appreciate this district right now, especially when we're talking about Black History Month, because it's not watered down. It's not just the cute version. It's the version that talked about the injustices that happen even in the city, being a formal sundown town, being a town that was redlined. It's important for our students to know their history, because that's the way that we understand how to solve history, how to undo history and prevent it from happening again. So just want to encourage all of our teachers right now to have these really robust conversations, make space for your kids to ask you questions as they try to make sense of what's happening, and let's continue to celebrate the rich heritage of who we are as a people in this community that have overcome some monumental challenges and have succeeded in ways that couldn't be imagined had we just sat by and let things happen to us, right? So again, really appreciate our staff and everybody that's been involved in supporting our communities with these raids. I don't know what's gonna happen. You saw probably the most recent stop and ask policy they're going to try. They're just going to try and see what works, but we have to be stronger and resolute and have courage and stand in the gap for our families. So again, thank you all, and hope you all have a great rest of your week.
Point of personal privilege real quick, Dr. Hardy, I want to acknowledge something. You've been posting some stuff recently, something I didn't know. We learn something every day, right? And I think this is worth saying, just because in solidarity with the African-American community and the Latino community, I didn't know this, but he posted something, and I guess back in the 1800s, when slaves were, fleeing the United States, Mexico told the U.S. no. When the U.S. said, we want escaped slaves that go to Mexico to be returned to the U.S., and Mexico said no. Anybody who makes it to the U.S., any person who stands foot is a free man. And that was the blowhorn to African-American people that were in the United States, that if they can get to Mexico, Mexico was going to protect them. And I didn't know that, but I mean, it brought chills down my back to hear that and to learn that. So thank you for posting that, Dr. Hardy. And I hope that inspires the camaraderie that we have with the African-American community. Because look, you guys, it's like, one day it's me, one day it's you, one day it's her, And we have to stand up for one another. And you know, I was a big kid when I was in school, and I remember seeing kids getting bullied sometimes, and I would do something because I felt like if I didn't do something to protect the little kid, who was going to protect them? And guess what? Sometimes there's someone's bigger than me, and someone's going to bully me. And if someone's not there to protect me, then who's going to save me? So I hope that we save each other, because at the end of the day, all we have is each other. No man is an island, and I hope we really feel that to the core, and I hope we live that way every day, and we help each other out, because there will be the day that no one will be around, and it'll just be you alone, and they're gonna come after you. So remember that, guys. Thank you, Dr. Hardy.
Yeah, like just to put a cap on that, like Dr. King said, we came on different ships. We're all in the same boat now, right? So my issue is your issue, and vice versa. So sorry it took longer than normal, but this it's important because people are fearful of what's happening out there. But the answer is our solidarity. So we got to stick together, set aside all the petty differences. Right now, we're looking for ways to support each other and protect our community. So.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hardy, for your report. So for my report, I just want to say, first of all, happy Black History Month. And to follow up on the history lesson you gave us about, you know, when Mexico declared independence from Spain, they immediately abolished slavery. So when the Constitution of the first Mexican Constitution was written, slavery was abolished in their first Constitution. And, you know, people ask, you know, people know that states like Texas, Colorado, California, Arizona used to be part of Mexico, and now it's part of the United States. What led to that war that you ended up getting the Republic of Texas that then resulted into getting annexed? Slavery was part of it, because as more Anglos were moving towards Texas and California, they wanted to bring over their slaves, their enslaved folks over. And when they got in Mexican territory, they were told, no, you can't, these people cannot be slaves. They're free, because that's the law here in Mexico. But believe it or not, you know, all those people, some of the most affluent Mexicans who fought for independence from Spain, they wanted to keep their slaves too. So they kind of got to the idea, wait a minute, well, you know what, why not become independent? So that's how the Republic of Texas came to be, right? So that's part of history too, that slavery was a factor into those causes of the California Republic, the Republic of Texas, and then resulting in the Mexican-American War, and this is why California is a part of the United States. But anyway, so that's an additional history lesson there too. Hopefully everybody's getting ready for President's Day weekend. You know, I know kids are off tomorrow, you know, so yeah, you guys won't be able to share your candy with your friends tomorrow, Valentine's Day, but, you know, make sure you give a rose to your mom and your dad, you know, because it's not just Day of Love, it's for amnesty too, you know, Día de Amor de la Amistad, as we say in Spanish. For my report, I just want to share that I am part of the Los Angeles County LGBT elected officials, and during one of our meetings, we did talk about our responses to the current administration of how do we address some of the policies changes, and in one term we talked about immigration, and obviously like Dr. Jetson mentioned was that this past month our attendance has been greatly affected with the new administration, and obviously I see that as well where I work as a teacher. I'm working diligently to bring back my students back to school, and I have to reiterate to parents that through our policy, just like here in Lynwood, immigration cannot enter our school. And what we have over there is that if they do show up with a warrant, because sometimes it could just be a piece of paper with like an order on it, right? We have to call campus police, and we call our operations hub and tell them, hey, we have folks over here, and we don't talk to them. We let the district operations and school police deal with them. And we also have our own protocol here, where if anything were to happen in any of our sites, we have the superintendent and our other staff members here in the district office that will handle that. But I wanted to go into what he mentioned. You know, obviously, due to my position at my work, I am in a position where hey, I'm gonna have to get myself a new piece of jewelry on my hands in case anybody wants to enter through my building in order to get someone in on my school. And so we went over come out with a lesson of how to get arrested sort of video. And, it's not like I look forward to getting arrested, but obviously we want to if we're going to get arrested, how to do it without adding additional charges to it. So we've all seen videos of politicians, including the late John Lewis, where they get arrested. Obviously, there's a way to do it where you get arrested, they process you, and then you're released. And sometimes you might spend a day in jail. So from this day forward, I'm going to start wearing very warm socks, right? So anyway, that's all for my report. Moving on to, governing board resolutions, proclamations, and appointments. Is there a motion to approve this agenda item? We have approval to appoint, my bad.
This resolution.
This is 10A. Is there a motion? It's been moved by
Second.
Mr. Morales. No, who moved?
By Ms. Lopez,
Ms.
second
Lopez,
by-
second by Mr. Morales. Is there an opposition to this item?
On
Seeing
question.
none? What?
All question.
Calling the question, Mr. Superintendent?
No roll call.
Welcome. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, this motion passes 4-0. Item 10B.
So moved.
Second.
So this is the COC currently has 7 vacancies. This is the Citizens Oversight Committee for District Bonds Measures K, N, and U. Staff recommends that the board appoint Irma Arroyo, Sergio Bainuelos, Briseida Gonzalez, Blanca Mendoza, Magali Ochoa, Imelda Rodriguez, and Claudia Velasquez to the Citizens Oversight Committee for the 2-year term of 2024-2026. Is there a motion? Move and second. Is there any opposition? Seeing none, this motion passes.
So when there's a motion in a second, you don't have to read the rest of this.
Copy. All right. Now we move over to public comment and communications. Are there any public comments, Mr. Superintendent?
Yes, sir, Mr. President, starting with Karina Sosa and then followed by Janet Otero.
Okay, very quickly, let me just read. Board Policy 9323, 3 minutes may be allotted to each speaker to address all their items. If translation services are required, please state that. An additional 1 minute will be allotted. Approach the lectern and give your name.
Well, good evening. My name is Karina Sosa. I am the mother of Hugo Sosa. He's 8 years old, and he's a student in Marshall's Elementary School. Hugo was born in the city of Lynwood, and he's part of the mariachi group representing the Lynwood Unified School District, and he's very proud of that. He says that one day he's going to be famous, like his singing instructor, Mr. Juan Mendoza, who is very known and famous in Mexico. So he's also very proud of that. As a mother, I want to say thank you for creating this program, free program for them, free program for our community. The music classes are very expensive, and we wouldn't be able to pay for those classes, so thank you. This program gives our children new skills. It teaches them how to sing and play new instruments. It gives them confidence and maintain them away from electronics. They learn how to be respectful and work in teams. So most importantly, it teaches them all culture, which is very important for us. Last year, my son really enjoyed being part of the events, participating in the events. Every event was a great experience for him. So I want to thank you for creating this program, and thank you for giving Ms. Janet and the staff the opportunity for being part of this program. And special thank you to Janet and Mr. Vicente for letting our children be part of your events, where they participate with artist people. So my son and the rest of the children really enjoy that. With this program, you are helping our children get a better future. So thank you so much for everything that you guys do for them. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Judith Oltero, followed by Evangelina Cruz. Janet Oltero.
Good evening. My name is Janet Otero. First, I want to thank the district for the opportunity our kids have had when they joined this class, and also the Conservatorio, as they support them through, learning and the various events that they've been able to join. My kids have been part of the Lynwood district since they were 4 and 3 years old. They started in preschool. And then I've done my best, to volunteer within the district as well, but I am a working parent. So, you work with what we have. I myself have been part of this district since I was 9 years old. I attended Washington Elementary, Hostler, and Lynwood High School. When I saw, the opportunity on the flyers that the school passes out for this, for the folklorico ballet, and I was like, oh, the kids could get in touch with the roots. It was just something that was amazing, and I wanted them to be something, get in touch with that, be part of that. The kids have been part of the group for almost a year now. I can't speak for, all the parents, but I can speak for the ones that are, part of the Ballet Folklorico. The schedule the kids have right now is amazing. It has allowed the kids to be part of this and work with their other schedules, allowed us time to, be involved beyond the classroom. They have been able to join these amazing events, learn a new skill, and learn about the culture under, their amazing teachers, Jasmine and Janet. The kids are happy and thriving and are able to join, their immediate after-school activities from their respective schools and allow other parents time to do, our due diligence. As you guys know, many of you are parents yourselves. We need to, get home, homework, shower, do something, like there's many things, study, dinner, that we need to do as parents. My son, he personally has been able to benefit greatly from this program. As you see him standing here today, you wouldn't be able to tell, but he was born with a club feet deformity. He's obviously always been behind his peers when it comes to sports. But with the folkloric, what years of therapy have not been able to do, he's been able to have balance now. So this program has been amazing. It has made so many of the kids more confident and involved. So, these kids, they cultivate the characteristics the Unified District, has behind you guys. All those characteristics of lifting excellence and brilliance. So keeping this program and, continuing to strive forward with these kids would be amazing. We would really appreciate it if you guys could continue to, support this program.
Thank you very much. Evangelina Cruz, followed by Martina Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, board members and community members. My name is Evangelina Cruz, with 2 children in this district. As a parent, I know my rights to advocate for my children and for all the students in my community, and especially if we're talking about federal money. I will start with the minutes on the agenda. It doesn't reflect my speech message. If anyone can fix that, I will appreciate that. I'm back to keep asking for an update of my complaint with the after-school mariachi class. It's upsetting how they can change things however they want. After I spoke up here the director told me that since I complained with the superintendente, things are going to change because my daughter, 5 years old daughter, is too small and she cannot belong in the class anymore, except if she wants to play an instrument or me or my husband can stay with her in the class. That day, they made my daughter feel excluded because they choose someone else to sing and not her, without explanation. Almost a month without her vocal teacher until yesterday. He was back. Now, she's happy because she feels included in her mariachi class. Again, this is an excellent cultural inclusion, but it's not well organized. They need to teach music, read music, and not memorize songs. We need more communication, formal meeting, and the most important, to inspire the students. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Evangelina. Next, Martina Rodriguez, followed by Paola Lucero.
Good evening, Board. And thank you, Mr. Alfonso Morales, and your comments. And I agree with you, we need to stay together. You know, as we move to these challenging times and budget challenges, you know, like you said, I always stand firm and protect the interests of this community. And, you know, this is a great program to encourage kids, their culture. My daughter is part of this. She's learning how to play the violin. You know, when a parent started complaining about that they were not teaching how to read the notes, then the response was, well, you teach them. You teach them. So I didn't argue anymore because I got tired of just having meetings with the administration. And thank you, Superintendent, for following, because you did ask us. You guys want to continue? Ms. Karina was here with us, and you met with us. Thank you for that. And you asked us, you want to continue? And we said yes, because we believe the program is good for the kids and it's challenging. But within the time, you know, looking through the MOU that we have here, that this was, they were paying $95,000 for this program. It's not free. And you know, when we say free, that means that it's volunteer free given to this community, but it's not. So when it's money, we need to hold accountable to make sure they follow this MOU. And I'm gonna, you know, cover a little bit of what it says. You know, music education and community engagement, no. Very poor communication, last-minute communication, no formal meetings, last-minute meetings. And this is a nonprofit that we were giving this money to. So I don't think none of the people that should be there in this MOU should be paid by this money. This money should go directly to our kids and buying uniforms. The uniforms should have been provided for the folklorico and for the mariachi. And it's not free. We were paying for it because our kids got this money for them. So within that, you know, we needed to have 4 teachers, 2 for folklorico. And these parents call me and say, you know, that this parent left crying because the teacher has no patience to teach our kids folklorico. And this parent left crying and say, here your clothes, because my daughter's not gonna go through this for you to come and lower her self-esteem. So a lot of parents left the folklorico because of the mistreating of the teacher. And I didn't follow up with that because I go, parents need to speak on their behalf. You know, I get tired sometimes of being the face and voting for all these concerns. So please, Mr. Juan Mendoza, I want to thank you because you brought something up. It says, you'd rather see an instrument in a kid's hand than a gun. And I love that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. Up next, Paula Lucero, followed by Janet Navarro.
Good evening, board members and Lynwood community. My name is Perla Lucero. I'm also a parent of, I'm live here in the city. I'm also a parent of 2 children who attend Lynwood district. We are very happy with this program. The concept is really good, especially at this time that we're looking and going through these difficult times. It is very good that the children need to be empowered and feel proud of our roots. And we like it. My son and daughter are very, very happy with the program. They like to go to their classes. The thing is, I thought it will be a complete program, like actual music, reading notes, not just like they said, just memorizing 2 or 3 songs, only a part of the song, the start and the ending of the song, tun turun tun tun, and that for me is not right. So someone said, oh well, actually one of the slides says that we're experiencing budget issues and going through difficult times, and just giving money just because it's free, like Martina said, it is not free. The program is being paid somehow. So it is actually not free. And then I have to, like they said, not all the people have the opportunity to pay, neither I. But we're making really, really tough decisions. And we're going to see where we're going to get money from. And we're going to put them in an actual music classes. Because they have already that little thing in their hearts they wanted to learn. So now we have to see how we can give them the chance to really learn these instruments. So we are very happy with the program, like I said, but it has to be more organized, to have an curriculum, a lesson plan, expectations, goals, and also evaluate the program. Is it working? Where we are? What are our goals? What else do we need? How we can help? Where as a parent, I put my 2 children to play together at home, to practice, because that is our responsibility as a parents, to like sometimes push them a little bit, to go, oh, you can do better. Let's do it. Let's have a break and let's go back so you can learn your lesson. But we cannot just go in like, oh, it is free and we just accept whatever they want. No, because it's some money that it has. If they given us this money, we have to do it right. You know what I mean? I don't know what else to say, but I'm just hopefully like you guys taking the best decision to our children.
Thank you, Ms.
Because
Navarro.
we always looking the best for them. Thank you.
Up next, we have sorry, that was Ms. Lucero. Up next, we have Janet Navarro, followed by Vicente Ortiz.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Miembros de Distrito Escolar, perdón, va a ser mi mensaje en español. Comunidad, mi nombre es Janet Navarro, he trabajado como voluntaria por más de 20 años aquí en el Distrito Escolar y en la ciudad de Lynwood. Tenemos el programa del Conservatorio Cultural de México y nosotros hemos trabajado junto con el Conservatorio de México y hemos hecho juntos el programa curricular. O sea, no es un programa que se nos va ocurriendo. Traemos personas totalmente calificadas, totalmente profesionales, como aquí está el maestro Juan Mendoza, que es una de las mejores voces de México. Entonces, traemos los mejores maestros, no nada más para el mariachi, sino también para el ballet folclórico. La maestra ha dado, yo creo que los resultados hablan por sí mismos. El año pasado tuvimos más de 12 presentaciones y presentaciones con una audiencia internacional. Los hemos puesto en unos escenarios que realmente son uno de los mejores, hablemos de fiestas de octubre, del grito de independencia, el desfile el más grande desfile de aquí de Estados Unidos, no nada más de Los Ángeles. Entonces hemos tratado de darles la mejor presentación para los niños, para que los niños pierdan ese miedo a estar en público, a hablar en público. Y sí tal vez hemos cometido errores, lo acepto, tenemos un chat abierto para todos los padres, tanto para el ballet folclórico como para el mariachi. Tenemos chats independientes donde ellos pueden preguntarme y yo siempre recibo las llamadas. Siempre, si no alcanzo a contestar una llamada, la contesto en menos de 20 minutos. Entonces, con esto les me he sentado con ellos directamente para platicar de cada uno de los problemas de los niños. Anteriormente estábamos recibiendo a niños de todas las edades. Actualmente solamente hemos visto con el ejemplo que no podemos aceptar niños menores de 8 años porque la capacidad y el aprendizaje es distinto y también no es justo para los niños que están un poquito más grandecitos, no podemos ponerlos en el mismo nivel. Entonces, por eso hemos decidido que sean de 8 años en adelante. También los invitamos, la doctora, lástima que no está aquí la doctora Castro, que ella ha visto y ha hablado directamente con los padres acerca del programa. Yo los invito a todos ustedes a que participen, a que vayan a ver las clases y que no nos avisen qué día van a ir, ahí los esperamos cualquier día.
Y Anel, si podemos dejar que traduzca también,
sí,
gracias.
Gracias.
Hi, my name is Janet Navarro. I've been a volunteer for 9 years right here at the Lynwood Unified School District, as well as the city. The program that we bring in here with folkloric and music is a joint venue or joint work collaboration with professionals from Mexico. We have this program with really professional people. We have one of the members here present, which is one of the best interpreters of the Spanish music. We try to get the best teachers as possible, and the results do speak for themselves. We've done a lot of presentations, 12 that I can remember, that involves some of the participants in some of the schools. We do have an independent way of teaching for teachers and a way to communicate with the parents. We do try to provide the best of us. Yes, we do have money that comes from the district, and yes, we cooperate with the parents and the different persons. I am one of the persons that responds to questions or concerns from the parents. So we try to have open communication with all the stakeholders as well as the customers that we serve. Initially, we started doing all ages, but it became a little difficult to work with the little ones younger than 8. So therefore, we limit the age of 8 so that the older kids that have a better grasp of the instruction can be better served, and instead of dealing with the little ones that sometimes they unfortunately are not able to fully benefit from the program, as well as the older kids. And we invited Dr. Castro to come and visit our classes, and she was present. She was able to articulate really well her point of view and what she saw as we implant.
Thank you for the translation. The timer's up already. Sorry. The timer's up already. Thank you. Sorry, es que el minuto adicional para que pueda traducir. Sí, okay. Gracias.
Perfecto, muchas
So, next we have Vicente Ortiz.
Buenas tardes, board members. Buenas tardes,
Buenas tardes.
Me gustó, gracias por hacer un poco de historia y defender los derechos de nuestra gente. Nada más para agregar, al comentario de Board Member Alfonso, Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla fue quien abolió la esclavitud, y así es de que eso fue en 1810 y hasta 1863 en el norte fue cuando se abolió, así es de que nos une mucho la historia. Quería comentarles, bueno, mi nombre es Vicente Ortiz, soy restaurantero, ya muchos me conocen aquí, he servido en la comunidad, mi servicio voluntario por muchos años, más de 30 años, y bueno, siempre he estado en la lucha en las áreas del sureste de Los Ángeles, desde mi buen amigo Marco Antonio Farbo, que estuvimos caminando en las calles, lo conocí personalmente, era gran amigo mío, y bueno, les digo esto un poco porque estamos aquí representando este programa de mariachi y folclórico. Quiero decirles que nuestro trabajo es voluntario. Sí, el distrito escolar pone un presupuesto de $95,000, pero nosotros desde el principio dijimos que íbamos a tener buenos maestros y bien pagados. El salario que se les da por hora a los maestros, porque son maestros especializados, es de 70 a $80 por hora. Aquí tenemos uno de los maestros, las mejores voces de México, que es Juan Mendoza el Tariacuri, viene una familia de tradición musical. Así es de que la calidad de los maestros no hay duda. Quiero decirles también que nosotros estamos aquí para responder, no estamos haciendo dinero, sí estamos agradecidos con el distrito escolar, que es quien invierte, pero todo ese dinero, cuando no alcanza, tenemos 3 maestros folclóricos, 3 maestros de mariachi con los directores, así es de que el dinero que está presupuestado, si hacen las matemáticas, no alcanza. No alcanza. Y en el comentario que dijo la señora, aquí nosotros, a pesar de que los niños no alcanzan a tocar o a cargar su instrumento cuando son menores de 8 años, es natural, pero siempre se les ha atendido y ha estado abierta la comunicación. Cuando ellas no quieren o los padres no quieren hablar, pues no podemos forzarlos, pero siempre se les ha hablado con educación y con respeto.
Señor
Gracias.
Vicente, ¿puede dejar que traduzca, por favor? Gracias.
Thank you for the history that you mentioned, especially the history about slavery. There's something that I'm not really good versed in history, but it was really well represented and mentioned the way you guys put it out. My name is Vicente Ortiz. I'm a restaurant owner for 30 years. I've been here around, and I know most of you guys. So we have produced or provided services throughout LA, basically Southeast area. I started working a lot with the Marco Antonio Fireball. I worked with them. I did campaign with them. I knew him. He became a really close friend of me. And I represent the work as a volunteer here. Yes, $95,000. It is a lot of money in a one single lump sum. However, the salary that we pay the teachers.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Soltero. Let the record note that a summary of the translation will be recorded in the record. Thank you.
Solamente quería entregar unas cartas que nos dieron los padres.
Sí, por favor, dáselas al superintendente. All right, so moving on to item 12, public hearing. 12A, the board will open a public hearing to consider the appointment of Mr. Jason Vasquez.
Motion open.
I have a motion to open. Second by Mr. Morales. Any opposition? Seeing none, the public hearing is open. So individuals should be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on, my bad, sorry. On this item, does anyone wish to speak on this item?
Motion to close.
I have a motion to close. A second by Mr. Morales. Any opposition? Seeing none, hearing is closed. Do I have a motion to approve the appointment?
So moved.
I have a motion to move by Mr. Hardy, second by Mr. Morales. Any opposition? question is called. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. Item 13, action items.
So moved.
So move, 13A1, move. Is there a second? Second by Ms. Lopez. Any opposition? Seeing none, motion passes 4-0. 13A2, minutes from the January 9, 2025 minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Hardy.
Second.
Second by Mr. Morales. Any opposition? Seeing none, motion carries 4-0. 13A3, minutes for the January 26, 2025 meeting.
Motion to approve.
Moved by Mr. Morales, second by Ms. Lopez. Any opposition? Seeing none, motion carries 4-0. 13B1, request approval of the resolution 2425/43.
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Hardy, second by Ms. Lopez. Any opposition? Seeing none, motion carries. 13C.
Mr. President, motion to approve 13C1, 13C2, 13C3.
We have a motion to move 13C1, 13C2, second by Ms. Lopez. Any opposition? Seeing none, motion carries 4-0. Consent agenda, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Moved by Mr. Morales, second by Mr. Hardy, and Ms. Lopez too. Any opposition? Seeing none, motion carries 4-0. Report out of closed session. Mr. Counsel?
Mr. President, with reference to the published agenda, Section 5, Section 5A, with 3-0 votes, Mr. Del Real Carreos recused and not present, the board approved settlement with payment of $7,350. Item 5B1, with 3-0 votes, Mr. Morales not present, the board approved a separation agreement with remuneration of $58,172. Item 5B2, the board received information, no final action taken. Item 5B3 and 5B4, the board received information, no final action taken. Item 5C was not considered, and that concludes the readout from tonight's closed session.
Thank you, Counsel. Before we move to adjournment, I just want to mention that sadly we've lost a Lynwood family member this week, Margaret Jackson, who was a teacher over at Pathway, and I've had the privilege of knowing her while she was working at the Vista High School site. She was a wonderful woman, and she will be dearly missed. Carry a moment of silence in her memory. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. President, motion to adjourn in honor of Ms. Margaret Jackson.
So moved. Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries 4-0.